Since this whole pandemic started in March of this year all the way through now, many expats have decided to go back to their home country, and many expats that are still here are currently talking about leaving and never coming back. Stay tuned. So, ever since March, when this whole lockdown began, and up until now, I have noticed a very big difference between the attitudes of expats from then till now. Now, obviously, most people understand that there had to be lockdowns in place and social distancing and masks and all of that. However, the way things were handled, maybe perhaps where areas had zero cases but were totally locked down, and some of the policies that have come out, first they did not allow somebody to ride on the back of the motorbike, then they did, and just various things. And I'm not going to get into all of that, and I'm not here to bash the Philippines in any way. I'm just simply letting you know what's going on within the Philippines. And I've been looking through various expat groups like in Cebu and Manila and Davao and here in Dumaguete. And more I'm noticing expats who are saying, listen, I love the Philippines, I love the people, but enough is enough. I'm just going to head back to my country. And if things ever get back to normal, maybe I'll come back here, but maybe it's time to start looking at other countries. And I'm going to show you some of the clips of various topics and people responding to them in different expat groups. But not only the expat groups, but just talking to people. People have had enough, and a lot of people have just said, you know what? When another country opens up, maybe Colombia, maybe Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, I think I'm going to give another country a shot here. You know, it's been fun while it lasted. So let's go ahead and dive into it and get a few more details of what exactly is happening here and how people are feeling. So I'll start off by sharing a few of my own personal experiences, and then I'll dive into showing you guys what some other expats are feeling as well, looking at various expat groups around the Philippines and also talking with some of my friends. So example number one. So I was driving through a checkpoint and they stop us and they waved us over, and my girlfriend is on the back, and they said, sir, you need to have a visor and long sleeves for your passenger. I'm thinking, okay, do I need long sleeves and a visor? No, sir, it's only for the person in the back. So only the back rider on my motorbike needed long sleeves and a visor. So I'm thinking to myself, does that make any sense whatsoever? The driver doesn't need long sleeves, doesn't need a visor, and what is the purpose of the visor and the long sleeves anyway? Never did get an answer on that, and no other checkpoint ever said anything or ever stopped us for that. So that was a rule that came out. Somebody pulled us over, no enforcement, nobody could answer why. I did see in one article that they were going to implement that, and then it's never been enforced. So another thing is things just aren't uniform here. So in other words, one checkpoint will stop you for no long sleeves and no visor, but the other checkpoint, hey, no problem. Another experience that just happened to me. I'm following my friend. We were driving on the road. I'm following him and his girlfriend on their motorbike, and I see them get stopped at a checkpoint. So I actually stopped with my girlfriend before we got to the checkpoint because I saw what was going on, and ended up I waited a few minutes, saw that they were being written a ticket. So we turned around and went home. But his girlfriend actually got the ticket, and the ticket was for back rider. Now they just came out just the other day and said, "Oh, it's okay. Back riders are acceptable." They tried to explain that to them, to no avail. They ended up giving her a ticket. They took her picture. They gave her the ticket and said, "You need to go down to the barangay hall or to the court or wherever and pay this by next week." And on the ticket, it does not even list the fine. It doesn't. and my friend asked the police officer, well, how much is the fine? What is the ticket for? I'm sorry, sir, I don't know. You'll just have to go to the office and pay for it. So they couldn't even tell you how much the ticket is for. Try to explain that, well, I just saw on the news that backriders are okay again. Fake news, sir, fake news. So who knows what's happening with that? I'll get more info on it from him. But while he was getting the ticket issued to him, I witnessed several Filipinos driving through the checkpoint with backriders, no problem whatsoever. They didn't stop anybody, but they did stop the foreigner, and he also observed it as well. So, bit of a double standard there. Another thing, I went into two coffee shops. I went into one coffee shop. They let me and my girlfriend sit together because obviously we came in together, rode together. At that point, it doesn't make any sense to have me sit at one table and her at a different table. No. So, made us fill out information where we're from, have we had any symptoms, phone number, yada, yada, yada. And so we sat down, had our coffee together, went to another place, no problem, same thing. We were allowed to sit together. Makes sense. You ride in together, you guys live together, your boyfriend, girlfriend, all of that. And then went into Starbucks, and they came up and separated us and said, no, you need to sit at a different table. And so we had to do that, which was just kind of ridiculous. So nothing is uniform here. You go to one restaurant, not allowed to sit together. Go to a different restaurant. Oh, sorry, sir. Or you're not allowed to sit together in one restaurant. You are allowed, and it's just the way it is. So those are three personal experiences. They don't seem like big things, and really they're not. It's just all of these things adding up and happening on a daily basis. You can't shop together. You can only go out on certain times during certain days, and it's spraying alcohol on the hands every time you walk through a store. You got to walk on some bleach. You got to wear the face mask. And again, is this stuff happening all over the world? Yes, it is. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just a bunch of little things that are happening, and the way things are run that get a little bit frustrating for some expats. So let's go ahead and look at some comments through the different expat groups that are going on within the Philippines here. So here are some comments that I've been going through and reading in the various groups. Cebu City Expats, Dumaguete Expats, over in Mindanao, Manila, various areas. First one says, back to enhanced community quarantine. I now officially find myself regretting coming to the Philippines. I loved this place when I first got here in 2018, really fell in love with it, so much so that I went back to the U.S., sold my house, cars, guns, everything. Now I'm actually regretting it. This shit is going to continue month after month for quite some time. It's obvious to me now. Okay, so that was comment number one. And then it goes on to say, another person commented on that post, said, I love it there too. Got out on a sweeper a few weeks back. I miss it, but I'm glad to be out. Another guy, agreed, been here 6 years now. It's gone badly wrong. Another guy, agree, it seems to be the worst place to be at the moment. Another guy, ditto mate, had a gutful. I am out of the city as soon as all of this is over. Go somewhere else in the Philippines, not too draconian. Another guy, so happy I left in January. Another one, you're so right. Another one, I'm happy I got out. Guy says, this country's totally broke. This gets the money from WHO and other foreign aid groups to put into their own grubby pockets. Don, I did the same thing in 2011, and by 2017 I had seen so many changes I got tired of it. Left before the virus got there. Thank God I left. I never plan on spending time there anymore. Another guy, I'm definitely glad we had some hiccups in our moving plans. We were supposed to be there already, but I got stuck in the U.S. Luckily, my pension is enough to survive in the U.S., hoping to get to the Philippines in 2021. Agree, this country's broken, my gosh. Open back up and now close. I wish we would have got a ticket to the USA. I still can, but man. It was obvious this place is run by people with peanut brains, but it was okay for years until it didn't affect us directly. If the world just stopped handing out cash to these useless governments, things might change. But when you get millions of dollars, when you don't have to account for what do you expect? And then some of them are a bit vulgar, so I'm not going to get into all of them there. Again, another guy, same as others. Glad to have left mid-March, staying now in Germany. The virus shows, like in a focus, the incompetence and the corruptive mind of the leaders at all levels, taking into account the bad organization of the city, the lack of culture, the beaches, parks, the bad traffic plus pollution, and the bad treatment of foreigners during the present crisis. I tend to not be coming back. Okay. So those are just some of the comments, and then there's another comment that with a guy here in Dumaguete about his experience here at the Jollibee restaurant. He says, "The new normal? My wife and I had a dine-in lunch yesterday, first time in months. It was at the Jollibee across from Dumaguete High School. Had to wait outside for a while. When we got our order, we had to sit at separate tables. There was only one chair per table. A sticker on the table said, 'This table has been disinfected and sanitized for your safety.' Nevertheless, we were glad to be able to eat outside or eat inside in an air-conditioned room." So is this the new norm? I don't know. So those are just some of the comments. Again, guys, this video is not about bashing the Philippines or bashing the Filipino people. I'm just simply letting you know what the feeling is of expats currently living in this time. A lot of them are wanting to leave. A lot of them have left. A lot of them don't want to return. Again, it's not always greener pasture on the other side. It's not always the case. So I'm just letting you know how some of the expats are feeling. Will this affect future travel here? Will people, I think it might be years before the Philippines fully recuperates and gets all the people back in again. I think other countries are going to be ahead of the Philippines. I think Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand. Who knows? People might start looking at Colombia and places like that. Colombia's got a lot of beauty. Cambodia's got a very visa-friendly situation for foreigners. Thailand maybe will reverse things later on. Who knows? Vietnam, Malaysia. So there are a lot of options out there. There isn't just the Philippines. I'm just letting you know a bit of frustration that I've had, and apparently I'm not the only one. A lot of expats feel like this. A lot of friends that I've spoke to have also felt like this, and a lot of guys that are living all over the Philippines kind of feel like this as well. So who knows? There might be a max exodus when things open up in other countries where a foreigner can go to Vietnam or Malaysia or Colombia or whatever. You might see a bunch of foreigners head over to a different country at some point. And, time will tell. So, again, guys, questions, comments, your thoughts and feelings, please comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. And, guys, also remember I do have a YouTube membership with exclusive video content. I also have Patreon videos. I think almost 50-some videos that are only exclusive to Patreon members. You guys can sign up for those. They're down in the link is in the description. And I'll see you guys next time.